joined by Adwoa Amofa Osei, that's Adwoa Loud, a journalist with Ghana's TV in Accra. Good morning, Adwoa.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you on the program.
Good to be here.
Yes, indeed. Now, medical experts have been campaigning on the use of sanitizers, social distancing, and the use of, face masks. Have Ghanaians been, following the medical advice, and how did Ghana get back to this, high rate of daily infections?
Yes, we have been sticking to the safety protocols, but I mean, obviously, in every home, there's a black sheep. So a few people might misbehave here and there, but I mean, the surge in the cases, it's quite a scare. And so people are now being more responsible, and the death tolls are increasing. The cases on a daily are rising, and now we have over 67,000 recorded cases, and it's quite alarming. So people are taking the safety protocols more seriously. They are being more responsible for themselves, their workplaces, everyone around them, because I think initially when it wasn't close to you, you thought it was just the regular sicknesses on the streets. But now almost everyone has had someone close to them, either a colleague, a family person, a church member, something, go through this coronavirus scare. And so people are being more responsible with the safety protocols.
All right, so seemingly missing from the president's announcement is any mention of religious houses. We've seen his statements, we saw the live press conference. Are they closed as well, or have restrictions, or do they just have restrictions on the number of people allowed? What's the situation with religious houses in regards to these reimposed restrictions?
Religious houses aren't shut down. It's just the restrictions remain 2-hour service and strict adherence to the safety protocols. And I have personally visited some churches over the period where the restrictions were eased and church services were allowed to continue. Churches tend to go strictly with the safety protocols, social distancing, washing your hands with soap and running water before you are able to enter the premises, strictly putting on your nose mask before you are allowed. My church, for instance, they even have a cap on the number of people that are allowed into the auditorium. And so you have to book your place to be in the auditorium a day or two before Sunday so that you are allowed to go into the auditorium. So I can't really say for the mosque, but I'm quite sure, I've had conversations with colleagues who are Muslims, that they also go strictly with the safety protocols, because we are all trying to protect each other. And where better is it to start from than the religious homes?
Well, true. But I really have to ask you, because I know that Ashanti Kotoko played football last night, and the Ghanaians we've seen, it's been bustling on the sidelines. We watch them, week in, week out. So has there been restrictions too on, football gatherings and stadiums too? Because they seem to be also missing, just like, those for churches and religious activities.
Yes, the restrictions on stadium attendance still holds. People aren't allowed, even if they are just a particular number that are allowed. So, I mean, all of those things are being ensured.
Okay, so let's talk about schools, because in this conversation, students sort of fall through the cracks. We all focus on the adults who are doing remote work and things like that. But schools in Ghana just resumed last month after being shut for 10 months. Have you talked to any students? How are they taking this? I know many of them would have been excited to get out of the home, back to school, back to seeing their friends, but now you're back home again. So what's the situation, and how has e-learning worked for Ghana?
My media station as GH1 TV has run a number of stories from schools. Quite a number of them seem to have been prepped by their parents before they went back to school. Just a few ones, you know how kids are. They go on break and they feel like they have to take off their mask. Maybe they're in their classroom, they feel like, I haven't seen my friend in a while, so I have to hug him or her, those things. But those are just on the sides. But quite a number of them, from the stories we have done from here, they are aware of what the virus is, the consequences, the protocols that they have to adhere to. And so you see a kid with a small sanitizer tied to his shorts or trouser for school, or his bag or something. He or she has it all the time, and he's been taught by his parents that at every point in time, when you touch someone, when you do this, when you do that, you have to sanitize your hands, you have to wash your hands. When you go to the classroom, you have to put some sanitizer on your tissue and wipe your desk. And so it's coming along gradually. Most of them are getting to understand the severity of the issue we are dealing with right now.
Okay. All right. We know that Ghana, are looking to procure, COVID-19 vaccines by the end of June, with the first doses arriving at least next month, March. Now, what's the general sentiment around vaccinations in Ghana? Are people, welcoming it? Do they want it? Or are they, conspiracy theories about it? Are they ready to take vaccines, or are they not?
The conspiracy theories, we've heard them, we've read some online. I have personally seen some from people from other countries on Twitter, Facebook, and all of that. I should think that the insecurities will remain with us. I mean, it's something new, and so you'll be quite skeptical about taking it. But some Ghanaians are ready to take it because, I mean, when you see people go through the hassle of having to deal with this pandemic, people in ICUs suffering to breathe, especially when the cases are close to you, you would want to take the vaccine, at least, even if it solves like 60 to 70% of the risk of you getting it. It is better than nothing. And so while some are quite skeptical about taking the vaccines because they aren't certain the side effects of taking the vaccine, others are also very ready and waiting for the first ones to come in. And then even if someone said, even if he or she has to join a queue for a week to take the vaccine, she's willing to join and take the vaccine and get it done and over with once and for all.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Adwoa, because I'm very sure as a broadcast journalist like yourself, you've been following all the stories with COVID-19, around Ghana. And I'm very sure we'll have you once again on Breakfast Central as we continue to follow what's going on in Ghana, not just in Accra, but, different parts of the country. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.